Hey y'all, it's Ashley from I Have Plans for You. Stay tuned if you want to see how I created this pretty pink spread in honor of all of those who are breast cancer survivors and fighters using a app called Procreate on my iPad. Hey y'all, so I was working on this dashboard that started out not even supposed to be a dashboard, honestly. I just got going and couldn't stop. But I was thinking about making a spread from this, and I wanted to fit in this mini HP planner. But I did this side, the left side of the dashboard, and I was thinking of just having the right side be blank and adding boxes. But then I was kind of thinking this would be good to show you guys how I actually created this on Procreate. And I'm doing a time lapse to the left here for you to see how I created this page since I did it off camera. But Procreate does time lapses automatically when you're creating in the app, and you can see I actually created the background. I just hand drew those lines and created that kind of like pink plaid effect. I draw the boxes myself. I do the lettering myself, except for October. I have some stamps for that, and so I'm just going through kind of showing you each of those elements as I was deciding what to do. And you can kind of see how I was moving things around in that spread to kind of make everything look cohesive. And so now I'm gonna go in and show you how I made the boxes. I hand lettered the to-dos and the different circles for the to-do list. And I made them different colors. I do that with a watercolor pen in Procreate that I really like to use. And I'm showing you how I moved the lettering where I said my God is bigger than breast cancer. I bought that doll and I placed her in the spread as well. And I just kind of, moved everything. I do have a little bit of a background in graphic design along with drawing. So I like to play around like this. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and I'm gonna rename that side left side so that I don't get that mixed up. But we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you how I would do something like this for the right side of a dashboard planner. And so this side is the side that has like the boxes, the days of the week. And we're gonna go ahead and get started with those boxes. I kind of have a small idea of what I want to do here. And I do have a color palette there. I like to stick with the same 5 to 7 colors, and also similar, at least no more than 3 fonts. So even if that's my hand lettering, even if I've lettered 3 different styles, no more than 3 different styles in one piece, to just keep things cohesive and make them make sense per page. And so we're gonna go in now. And I'm just gonna choose a color to draw these boxes down here with. I like this kind of mauve pink color. I'm gonna change the color of some of these boxes later, but just to get them down on the page and get the layout the way we want it, I'm gonna take the selection tool and Procreate. And I'm just looking at where about halfway is on the page to make sure that I don't come over too far. And I took the rectangular selection tool in Procreate and I just drew in. I pulled a box and it fills it. I have color fill selected as well. And if you guys want a more detailed Procreate tutorial on anything, whether that be hand lettering or creating spreads like this, then please let me know and I'll do kind of more of a background on how to do something like this. But now I'm just sizing the box and making sure that it's the right size to put 7 equally spaced boxes on this side. And I'm gonna speed this part up because it's a little bit redundant. But as you can see here, I just copied that first box and I'm making sure that they're all even. So they're all just a copy of the first box. And I am just making sure they're evenly spaced here. Right now you can see I have on snapping and magnetics, and I need to turn snapping off so that I can actually move those boxes and space them evenly without the snapping kind of pulling me back to a certain spot. And I'm going to take a few of these boxes and just put the 3 on the right side of this page. Be mindful that when you do this, you need space for where you're going to use the mushroom clip. And you see I did that on the left side as well. So I scooted all those boxes over, turning off snapping again and making sure that those are evenly spaced. And now I want to go and give some color variation. And so I'm just dragging, it's called color drop in Procreate. I'm just color dropping those in, and I put them all on one layer. And so now we have a nice color variation, and all those are the same colors that I used to make that plaid background. And in that upper left corner, I think I want to do a quote. So that's why I've left it blank. You know, that's normally where that kind of weekly Monday, Wednesday, list is, and I never use that. So now I'm just putting the white part of the boxes in, and I'm going to do that in the same way that I created the color parts. So I just moved it down so that I could see the white on that box a little bit better. It pops a little more on that brighter color pink. And I created this white box the same exact way, where I took the rectangle selection tool. It's filled with the color that's selected, and I just dragged a rectangle the size that I wanted. I'm centering those in each of the colored boxes below it. And when I get done with that, I'm going to hand letter the days of the week in each box. Okay, so now I just turned off the grid to take those lines out so we can see a little bit better what we have here. And I'm gonna get ready to letter the days of the week. I'm picking the same color that I lettered the word to do in on the other side of the page. And I'm using one of my favorite lettering brushes in Procreate. And I am turning the guide back on to make sure that my lettering is even, but I don't want it to be stark, so I turn the opacity down. I'm gonna go in and letter Monday through Sunday here, the same way that you would see it on a dashboard, like my Happy Planner dashboard spread. Okay, so now I want to take that same typescript that I used for the date on the other side, these kind of like shadow bubble letters, to do the dates for each day. And I'll go through and do that right now. I have to stamp each number on one by one, so I'll speed up that process a little bit too. But you can see how I work through and I go back and forth trying to make sure the numbers are in the exact space I want them in. I really like the black and white look here, but I'm gonna go through and make sure that that's what I want and see if I kind of like some other colors in there. It looks like these letters aren't fully closed, so it's not kind of working when I put the color drop in, but I do like the black and white, so I think we're gonna just stick with the black and white numbers there. And then I'm gonna take this watercolor brush that I do the majority of my flowers in, at least the base of the flowers, and I use this watercolor brush in almost all of my drawings that are digital watercolor. And I'm just making these like dots. These kind of look like to-dos, but I do kind of use this side of my planner in kind of like a Bujo style. So if you're not familiar with what that is, Bujo stands for bullet journaling. And these are tasks, but they are things that they're kind of more specific than just like a regular to-do list. These things probably will definitely fall on that day. And I just like to use a nicer looking marker than just like a bullet point to do that in my planner. And I'm using varying colors, and I really like the way the watercolor pen shows up, that variation in the way that the pen shows up. Okay, so that looks good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start lettering the quote in the top left corner here. I'm going to letter "We Fight Together" because I wanted it to be something that was kind of inclusive and supportive of the cause of breast cancer awareness. And so I'm going to do the word fight in the same lettering style that I did bigger in the other quote on the other side, and you'll see how I go in, and this is going to be kind of a serif style font. So I'm using the same pen. It's like a calligraphy pen, but I'm not doing what is thought of as a traditional lettering that's kind of where the letters are connected. I'll do that in the next few words, but I like to have one word that kind of pops in the quote when I'm lettering it. And I'm going back through and cleaning this up, thickening up some parts. This is what I do when I'm lettering you all's names for your custom name stickers, just in case anyone was wondering. But I'm also wanted to show you this part because I think people think too that when you letter, if you don't get it in one go, then too bad, so sad. But lettering artists, they do clean up the work. We do clean up the work. We don't just give it that first pass most of the time, especially digitally, because it's not quite the same as the pen moving on paper. So feel free as well to clean up your work when you are lettering and when you're learning. And that's why I kept this part in here, so you can see what that process really looks like. It's sped up just like a little bit. This whole thing took me about 40 minutes to do, this whole side of this one side of the spread. But I'm going in and adding those serifs now. And I just wanted you to see that what this process really looks like when you're lettering, and how, if you come from one of my classes, how I tell you lettering is a lot more like drawing than writing. And you can see that here. So I'll let this play while I finish lettering the entire quote, and you'll see that I letter the rest of the quote in more of a traditional style that you see in my hand lettering basics workbook. There might be a little bit of bounciness here, but it's still a little bit more traditional than just these serif style letters that I use for the word fight. I also wanted to mention too, while I'm lettering this, that one of the hacks that I like to do when I'm lettering digitally is to draw the whole thing in black, because you can always go in and fill in with color later. Now that's something you can do digitally that you can't do on paper, but it's like a good little hack to just kind of know about, because now you see me kind of playing around with color to see if I want to, because I know I wanted the word fight to pop, and I'm just going through to see if I like it with different colors added in, but you'll see that I don't really like that. I'm trying to add a little shadow because it's not really popping out on that pink on the background as much as I wanted it to. And so I'm gonna go in and turn that back to black and kind of just undo those color changes that I've done. Okay, so I think this looks good. I think this is a pretty cohesive right side of this spread, and I'm gonna go ahead and save it. I just typically save everything as a PNG because I'm not really sure, all the ways that I want to use it. And I'm gonna bring this over into Canva so that I can put both of these sheets on one page. And you see I already have one, that sheet that I did before in there. I'm gonna duplicate that page and get rid of the right side that I already had, put our new right side in there, and then I'm going to rotate it so that they kind of open like a book. And I'm actually going to provide this sheet to all of my patrons, all of my free and paid members. And I'm doing this so that we all have a spread that we have access to if we want to celebrate breast cancer awareness, and we want to support the survivors in our families and in our lives. So everybody just has access to a spread. So if you want access to this, you can join my Patreon. I would love it if you would join a paid tier, but this would also be available on the free tier as well. So I just have a cutting mat here, and I have the page that I printed out, plus I have a happy planner punch, and I'm gonna go ahead here and start cutting this out, and then I will also punch it with the happy planner punch. All right, so we're all done. I hope you enjoyed watching me create this breast cancer awareness spread. I'm popping these pages into my planner now. Everything I talked about is linked below, including the free download for you on Patreon. All of my socials are linked below. Be sure to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.